celebrated. We talked about this before. It's certainly a nicety that we want them to repair, and we look forward to them working on improving their budget so that they can upgrade all of the amenities that are offered at Egerton Mall, because it serves the entire community and the city.
I just kind of follow up on the manhole covers. The one that I mentioned is on the 1600 block of L Street, and it's been, I moved in almost 4 years ago, and it's been constantly oozing stuff, and so in the winter it's just like a sheet of ice going down that hill. And I know my neighbors have called 311 previously and not gotten anywhere. It's a Pepco manhole cover.
So you have called 311 on it already?
I personally haven't, but I know that my neighbors have.
Have you raised it to any of the prior commissioners?
No.
I know you've been there for 4 years and you've observed it.
Yeah.
So this is the first time. Okay. I'll look into it.
Any other community concerns?
I don't have a concern. I just want to let you know, my name is Edward Milton. I record the ANC meetings, and I've been doing so for the past, since January of 2015. So if any of you fail to come to a meeting, miss a meeting, and want to know what's going on in the community, I record the meetings with my iPhone right down here, right now, every 15-minute increments, so you can see the meetings go along in 15-minute increments should you miss a meeting. I normally post the meetings on Nextdoor in a playlist shortly thereafter the meeting, just for the public's viewing if they missed the meeting and for public comment. So thank you. And I'll continue recording the meetings ongoing. It's a free public service. You don't have to worry about payment. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
You're
Any
welcome.
other community concerns? It's approximately 8:02.
Claire.
Is your, oh,
I omitted to mention that last year we had a Trinidad Day and it was in August, and we are in the formative stages of planning another Trinidad Day. So I'm looking for volunteers. If you have any experience in even like event planning, sponsorship development, volunteer coordinator, we would, or if you just want to volunteer, you can contact me. We put an announcement on Nextdoor just to let people know about what we're planning to do. I have someone back here, Brady is wonderfully volunteering to help spearhead this and help guide the planning process with me. And I know Commissioner Lee and also Commissioner Buggs is also planning to participate in the planning activities. And last year we had live entertainment, we had employers that are hiring people, we had also a health fair, we had moon bounce, and so it was a lot of fun. And we also had horses. The rec center director got someone to bring horses so that the kids could like pet them, or ponies rather.
And right.
But it was fun.
Jealous.
So we're looking for people to help conceptualize what the next Trinidad Day will look like. So if you're looking for a way to get involved and engaged in the community, please, we would accept your help.
okay. That's all community concerns. I just wanted to, hopefully, we could, at this commission, we can establish some standing committees and ad hoc committees. A lot of our problems, number one I have here, liquor license and liquor stores, just to review. When the liquor license come up to review, well, basically I would like to see like a committee so we can have our complaints before they come up for review. So we have these documented, so when the time for them to come up to review, that we're not jumping at that time when the notices come out. Because just like you heard the police officer say, we know about Rose's Liquor. We know about Mudrick's store. All the other liquor stores in the neighborhood, Commissioner Henderson, the what do you call that place on Benner Road? The store Sylvia's or something on Benner Road.
I need you to focus on Stanton's because
And Stanton.
well, the issue with Stanton's is there's a voluntary agreement that this commission voted on that they're violating. And we wanna make sure, so isn't it in your single member district?
Paul Stanton, yes it is.
Yeah, I've already reached out to Ms. Harrell to let her know that her clients are in as the attorney for them, that they're in violation. And I want you to take the lead on sending a letter of complaint to Abra about that, because they are violating the agreement.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Henderson. And
You're welcome.
And I would like, well, like I said, I'd like the community to be involved with that. Just what you see So, you know, if we have a committee that's dealing with liquor license and problems with the liquor stores throughout the ANC,
Commissioner Lee, one more
What?
issue.
No,
You
I'm not
mentioned-
finished my statement.
But
I'm
you
not
mentioned Sylvia's, I wanted to address that.
okay.
Sylvia's Liquor Store is a problem business in the 1800 block of Benning Road. This commission did not take action, even though I had requested that we vote against them. And this time, I wanna make sure, well, the next time their liquor license comes up for renewal, I wanna make sure that you're aware and you vote on it, because all they do is serve problem people. There are throngs of individuals blocking the sidewalk. It is a nightmare, and they stay open till midnight, which is really offensive to my community, and they undermine our public safety. So we need you to take action. And this commission is empowered to vote to address liquor licensees that affect the quality of life, and I wanna make sure that going forward, we are positioned to do just that.
And I think with working with the community and having a committee to do that, so we all can get all the information possible, I think that's one of the steps to go at. Also, would like to see a committee on vacant and abandoned properties. That's also a problem. We heard all the problems and some of them aren't vacant, but just watch over the apartments and see what's going on and some of the empty houses. Little more transition, and when I speak about these committees, I would like to see it like the one side of Bladensburg Road going across, because like I say, you know, you're aware of what's in your neighborhood. So it'd be better if we had a committee that had both sides, and then maybe even two committees for both sides, because actually that Bladensburg Road, there's a division, and there's different problems on one side of Bladensburg Road than there is on the other side of Bladensburg Road, and people are more familiar with it. Neighborhood watch and security. At one time, DC, when we went through this crime thing some 25, 30 years ago, you didn't pass a problem corner without neighbors out there with orange hats on. And that really deterred. They got together and they sat out on the corners and they did something like between a 7 and 11, but that deterred a lot of the crimes. We need to reestablish that. I belong to a resident of Ward 5. I grew up here, I've seen all the changes. It's better, because since my time in Trinidad, it's much better. But still, it can be better. We can do some things because we have to build more of a community. That same unity has to go amongst us. You can't depend on us to do everything. We can't dictate to you what we want you to do. We need to hear from you, and we need to work together. Bladensburg Road and Benham Road development. There is some money out there for the stores. It's a grant. Commissioner Butler, what is it called? What is it called? Great Streets? I shared it with you.
Eighth Street,
Great,
8th Street, Great Street.
8th Street, Great Street, but there's a grant money out there for the store owners, so we need to sort of work with them to uplift the stores. As she said, starting liquor stores. Like I said, me growing up in the neighborhood, I watched some stores transition. Some store owners went from selling, and don't get offended, went from selling malt liquor as the neighborhood changed. Then they started adding wine, better class of beer, which means you attract better people. So with this money that they have, Startons, Mudricks, if we can get them to uplift their storefront, which is always covered and boarded, you can't see in, so you don't want to go in it, because you can't see in the store when you come up to the door. It's not like the new liquor store on 8th Street. When you walk by, everything is bright, light, you can go in, you can see actually what's on the shelves. So we want to sort of encourage them, work with them with this money so they can improve their storefronts. Because really the clientele they're serving, we don't want. I tell you, I don't want. I don't know if you want, I don't want. I know some of them, and I speak to them as I walk up and down 8th Street and through the neighborhood, but it's not what we want in our neighborhood. New development and building permits. Mainly in Ivy City in the market area. A lot of things going on. That's Commissioner Lewis's area. But one of the things that I find that as they come to us for vote, we're not privy to the SMD meeting or the meetings when they say what we want in the neighborhood. So I'm not familiar with the neighborhood. I'm not familiar with the project. I read the things that come up, but there's a lot of things. I'm not an architect, not a real estate agent. I'm looking at all these statistics and everything, just have simple questions that I like to get addressed at that time when I have time to address them, not 5-minute presentation and all of a sudden you have to vote on something. and you're pretty much really ignorant about really what's going on in that situation. So I like to see us have committees, and you too, you wanna hear about these things. Just because it's not in your neighborhood, it affects you. Just because, you know, it's not in your SMD, the little small area, you shop in the market, you shop in Ivy City, just said you go to the Atlas, and you're walking up. So you need to know about these things, and we need to inform you before it gets to the meeting, not at the meeting. And so you can get your input. Because when it comes to the meeting, it's for us to vote on. And because of the way it's set up, you don't get to vote on, we can get your input. But I'd like you to know something before you get to the meeting so we can hear from you by email, how you feel about the project. And just because it's not your neighborhood, it does affect you. Because we are sort of one neighborhood. And last, ANC meeting location. This came up last time. I like to see the ANC meeting in the ANC. So it could be walkable. And so a committee to establish something, we already decided we're gonna be here for the next 3 months, but let's see if we can get something started that way. We can find some locations, do Samaritan next week. We're having a meeting there. I think that's a great location. That's my church, go by, but that could be a great location if, you know, just whatever the ideas is. Some people have ideas, they don't want to see it moved around in between because they want a little continuity. But sometimes, you know, if you want to do something, you'll make the effort to do it. Just because the meeting moves into another person's neighborhood within your ANC doesn't mean it should be off limits to you. So we had Commissioner Henderson. But that's all I have for the committees. I'd like to establish that. I guess we'll have to meet as commissioners to find out how we want to do that, the steps. Or you can email me if you have any ideas, any committees you want to be involved in. Because the committees don't have to be commissioners. They can be they can be amongst the residents. And actually, I'm encouraging the residents to lead the committees and let us know what's going on and what their ideas are. We have one requested presentation for Commissioner Henderson. Is there?
No, they're not here in honor of Valentine's Day. They requested that they be on the next agenda. But I would like to say this before we leave. I think it's incumbent upon the commissioners to really take ownership of their respective areas and work on the issues there. We're doing what we need to do in 5B05.
Thank you.
We have a development project. We've had 6 meetings about that development project. We had another meeting with 701 8th Street. So we'll be coming to the commission with a recommendation. So we're not looking to replicate the wheel. There are a lot of challenges throughout Trinidad. Trinidad continues to have the highest crime rate in the community, and I wanna see, under your leadership, Mr. Lee, I wanna see you work with your neighboring commissioners to help address those quality of life issues that really negatively affect all of us before we start reaching out and doing something extra. Just about it.
That's just what I was asking. Thank you, Commissioner Henderson, and the meeting is adjourned.